On behalf of all gamblers everywhere, while I'm about to spill the dirty secrets that casinos use against us, I will likely still go to a casino and gamble all my savings. Don't you worry about that. So, with that, and knowing that the casino mafia hopefully won't come and break my legs, let's find out their sneaky tricks and fasten your seatbelts, you're gonna need it. Now, I always thought that casinos are just nice and classy places to be, wanting people to go in and think, oh, this is nice, I think I'll stay. Which is partially true. But the reality of why casinos are always the way they look actually has a lot more to do with psychology and trying to scam you of all your money. I always presumed that a wage cook like myself would be in awe walking into a casino thinking, this is a nice place, this is for the big leagues, and this is where I'm going to make my fortune. But unfortunately, the compulsive decor, lighting, carpet, and the flashing lights everywhere is purely meant to stimulate the senses. Keeps you awake, keeps you active, and means that you don't get tired, so you're not going to leave to spend the money outside of the casino when you could be inside spending it there. I mean, what else is an overdraft for, guys? Guys, these casinos are normally plush, comfortable, and ruthlessly temperature controlled to make sure that they are as inviting as possible for the public to come in and spend their hard-earned money. It's a place to stay and a place for you to gamble away. The whole point is to make them seem a bit hypnotic. You walk in and you can't take it all in, your senses go into a bit of an overdrive. No wonder you never see a normal house designed in this way like a casino, because if my house was, my guests would never leave if the dishwasher was flashing lights at them like a slot machine does. This stimulation, probably my new favourite word, is also added in other sneaky ways that keep you inside and keeping you to be encouraged to continue buying things and gambling. Subtle behaviours such as free drinks and entertainment, which are often provided within the walls of the casino. Just as an example, my local offers a free curry to all gamblers who are there from 4 AM onwards, which is amazing. There's been a few times where I've gone and decided that I want a really late night curry. However, you have to then question why you're there at 4 in the morning, normally after I've been on a night out, but it's that thing again. If you could go home at 3 AM after a night out, but just stay a little bit longer and get a free curry, how many people are going to turn that down? You then also question why the casino is still open at that time, and that's when you realise that it's actually open, well, most of them, 24 hours a day, and that is to cater to all patrons, some with addictions and some who just simply want curry. I remember once having a meal at a casino, which was very nice, can't fault them on that. It wasn't a curry, but it was an actual sit-down dinner. But as part of the package, you got a free bet, or something of that variety. This was, I recall, a red or black spin on the roulette wheel. A simple £5 bet, and if you win, you get some free money, basically. And I always thought, it's a free bet. If I lose, fine, I didn't lose anything. But if I win, I get some money back of this non-existent money. But that's all part of the ruse, folks. Win or lose, that elation of getting money and then being able to gamble with it is just a taster. And then you might spend more. Or potentially even chase the losses of something which you then spent more on than the original free bet was. You lose $200 at the roulette, but you gain a $20 food voucher. That is return on investment that I've never heard of before. So yeah, really breaking it down, the rule is well and truly clear. That the house always wins. The art of deception and nullifying one's senses is a tactic often employed by casinos. What better way to get people involved at the blackjack table than having no reason to inform the gambler of how long they've been there for? You sneaky sausage, you. No. They don't tempt you in with sausages, but the fact that once you're inside, if you take a good look around, maybe look outside to see if it's gone dark yet, or worse than that, if the sun's come up at that time, well, there's design and reason with that too, making it pretty much impossible to see outside the casino once you're on the gambling floor. And the whole point of that is to make you not realise how long you've been there for. As well as that, there's pretty much no clocks about, so you can't look at the wall and see the time. Yes, I know that most people these days either have a watch or a smartphone that tells them the time, but it's things like this where if you're too preoccupied with what you're doing on the table, then why would you even bother checking it? I mean, if you're having fun, And who wouldn't? Then why not just stay a little bit longer? Something else that you may have realised is whenever you go to a casino, it seems to be quite large, seems to be quite complex. To navigate your way around seems like a bit of a maze, almost like walking into your local IKEA and never being able to find the exit. The maze-like layout can be confusing, and that's entirely the point, because when I'm drunk and stumbling around the casino, I want to make it as easily as possible to get out of there, but the winding pathways doesn't really help, and the problem is, you have to go around the tables, which at some point you'll probably see someone gambling and go on, I'll have one more before I go. And before you know it, you're there until the curry's out. You might think that the goal of the casino is to get you through the doors, milk you dry, and send you on your way. That's not quite how they do it. Well, not so bluntly anyway. They do want your money, no doubt about that, but it's done in a novel way of giving with one hand and taking with the other. Slot machines and other games are programmed to create near-win situations, where players come tantalisingly close to a jackpot, but fall just short of the finish line. I always wondered how I was so lucky, or unlucky if you discover that truth for the first time. If you walk into a casino with a certain amount of money in your pocket and lose it, you can almost guarantee that somewhere nearby is a cash machine or ATM where you can withdraw more money to chase those losses. It's all starting to come together now, isn't it, Mr. Krabs? So, is the casino out to rinses? If you lost everything in one go, you'd leave and never come back. That's a given. And a casino doesn't want that to happen. No, of course not. They want you to be a paying customer. Again, and again, and again, and again. The way to do that is that they give you something akin to the clap, which is a gambler's bug. Yes, an addiction. A chase of that previous win and the satisfaction that came with winning money before. However, as I'm sure most of you are already aware, that the house has an edge in pretty much all of its games. So that's why whenever you see a roulette table and you look at a red or black spin, it's never truly a 50-50 outcome, because there is the sneaky green zero at the end of the table, which, regardless of how lucky you are, always tips the odds in the favour of the house. And like we said, the house always wins. This is less so sneaky gambling practices, but more so just the reality of what happens when you walk through a casino's doors. Security and surveillance are everywhere. You expect to find some, yes, that's understandable because there's lots of money flying around, you expect to be recorded, but I don't think a lot of people realise quite how much monitoring goes on. It's quite ridiculous. There's security cameras everywhere, tracking people's movements, the behaviours of patrons, and whilst this is primarily for security reasons, it can feel quite invasive, and if you scratch your ass without thinking about it, you can bet your bottom dollar, if you've still got it at that point, that someone in the security team saw it happen and it's recorded forevermore in their archives. But what's worse than having your pants down and scratching your bottom is if you actually win a large amount of money, because security are trained to know the signs of a potential cheat and analyse how that player is always playing. So, it might be legitimate, but the house probably knows your hand better than you do. So, there we have it. And the bitter truth is that casinos are out to get you, but just not in such an obvious fashion. Like, comment, subscribe, bet to gambling time's coming.